MCA women have played 4 matches, 1 no result, and 3 wins. And this is a full toss to start with by Melanie Henry, knocked down to deep mid-wicket for 1. Up against a big hitter here, though. Jivana Aras is a tremendous ball striker. Full toss outside the line of off. And 1 legal delivery left. Big swipe and a miss. That's a good ball. 8 overs and 2 balls. Tossed up, lofted down the ground. That's over the head of mid-off. And that runs away for yet another boundary. Not really hit hard, but timed very well. That is the talent of Jivana Aras, just lofting it, going right through the line and just lofting a low full toss right down the ground. That would take some doing if they were to maintain that rate. Tossed up and lofted down the ground again. This is a bigger hit, and it lands just inside the ropes at long on. So consecutive 4s here by Jivana Aras. Ability to look at replays, and that's a tremendous advantage. Next delivery, tossed up again. Looks to replay that shot and gets a winning partner, Miha Sivakumar. Miha 10 from 6. 2 balls remaining here in the over. Short down the leg side. Boy, I tell you what, that's going to go for 4. Diving effort. Oh my goodness, that's a great effort running across by Melanie Henry from long on. Diving to her left. Almost got there. In fact, did get there. But the ball just trickles under her arm. Okay, so my apologies. There is, I believe, 1 ball left in this over by Hala Asmat. Tossed up and played down to mid-off. Throw down to the keeper's end. And that should conclude the over, yes. So get through the overs as quickly as possible. So she bowls very quick, flat off spin. She's very difficult to get after, but rain in the forecast. She's getting short and hit in the air. That's past Janae Basson at backward point. Will run close to the boundary, but pulled back before it gets there. Strong throw into the keeper's end. 120. They're well in advance of the rate that would get them 120. Half-hearted appeal for LBW on that one. No realistic chance of that being given. I'm pretty sure a couple of inches outside the line of leg stump. So good umpiring by umpire Palnitkar. So when it's stroked into mid-wicket or mid-on, wide mid-on, they scramble through for a single. So as soon as they make contact, obviously you're only playing a 10-over match. Very full appeal for LBW, not given. Once again, I think that's going to be because it's pitching outside leg. But that pace is coming down a little bit. Lofted in the air. That's going to land safely as Janae Basson running across in the covers and only able to prevent them from scoring a second run. So the only that is as soon as we get the information. Slapped down the ground. Should be just 1. Only another 40 legal deliveries left in this innings. Off the back foot, that's good bowling. It should only be 1 to deep extra cover. Think for a second about coming back for a second run, but they don't. Big hitter, mid-wicket is in place. Long on is in place. And she hits that gap between long on and mid-wicket. Really, it doesn't matter whether it hit the gap or not because it goes all the way for 6. That landed probably 5 yards over the boundary ropes. She is an absolute hitter of the cricket ball and a circle, but I think that's where I'd prefer to have her bowling or playing. And look at this. This is that could have been put away for big runs, but she ends up miscuing it, and it ends up just being a dot ball. Apparently, there's 1 more ball left. Short and stroking it in front of the stumps, looking quickly for the throw. And it comes into the striker's end, but not in time. This Kritika Jayaswal. So Melanie Henry back into the attack, and see now that they've switched ends and they're now bowling everything from the Pearland end, which, as I suspected, is because you're wanting to make sure that the overs get through more quickly. And the pace at which they were going earlier. 60 runs on the board for 2 wickets. And this is in the gap, in fact, just to the left of cover. They're coming back for 2 more. Cover could potentially have gotten down to stop that, but not able to do so, I believe. Last over of Melanie Henry's spell. Once again, you're limited as a bowler, and this is a 10 over match. Oh, look at this. Whizzing past the outside edge for no run. Gigantic gap between long on and mid wicket. Lofted in that exact area. Stays in the air for a while, but should just be 2. Strong throw coming into the bowler's end. That is a great throw. She's 32, not out from 21. Outside off and 2 wide, and winning the toss and choosing to bowl first. This is tossed up and just driven to covers. Sorry, not the covers. That was driven to on 1 throw, and I think you just saw one of the parents on the other side remarking exactly on that, just mimicking that underarm throw. This one is knocked down to long off for a single. And she's bowling to Jivana Aras. 34 from 23. Too far outside off and another wide. So if you don't, these are extra balls and extra runs. You don't need to provide either of those two to a side that is as strong with the bat as the MCA women are. This is better, just on that off-stump line and work down to long on for a single. Having to switch lines that you're bowling, but you'll take that every day. This is stroked into the short mid-wicket area. That's just going to be a single. That's not always fun. This is Janae Basson bowling penultimate over of the innings. This is sliced into the deep. This is Melanie Henry. Look at that. Again, an underarm throw. Good bowling for the first 2 balls here by Janae Basson. Full toss, sliced in the air and landing short of cover. That is Ritika Jayaswal Modgalia. First over, 1 for 7. Tossed up, hammered into the deep. In fact, just over the head of that fielder at short mid-wicket. That is Kirutika Subramania, and it clears her and goes all the way for 4. So that's a good start to the over. It drizzle around. So we may be playing with less time than we thought. Slapped in that same direction again, but on the ground. It should just be 2. Strong throw coming back in, but they run through for 2. That means that you have 7 or 11 runs to get in the next 4. This is played into the outfield. This is Melanie Henry coming back for 2. My goodness. Slightly wayward throw. And so 8 runs in the first 3 balls. Sliced in the air. That's going to be 2 more, I believe. Melanie Henry coming across, but she won't be able to prevent 2. So that is 4, 2, 2, 2 in this last over. 10 runs already. You're playing straight down the ground if you're going to be bowling that length, and that's exactly what she did. Right, 1 bounce down to long on, and they come back for the second. Appeal for the run out, and it is not given. I don't know that that ball was collected cleanly either, but that is 4 consecutive doubles. Something that they're looking for. In any event, here's the last ball, and this is hit into the covers just for 1. And that is the end of the over. So a good, productive last over. 13 runs coming from it. That ends with the score being 96 for 3. Shreya Aurora ends up with 4 from 5. Jivana Aras 51 from 33. So she does get to her 50. Opened the batting. Batted all the way through the innings. She carried her bat in the phrase that we always use. And 96 for 3 is what your final score is. So look at the total scorecard. Jivana Aras, 51 not out from 33.